Scared the
Oh no,
fuck
it's the
out of
staff.
me.
Everybody
Oh
run.
my goodness.
Everyone run away.
Thank you all for attending. We're now here to start discussing how to take over the world.
I'm in.
The
Yeah,
first things
My
first.
name is Momo,
I'm
and
just-
wait, wrong meeting.
What's up? And I cannot stress this enough. My gamers.
Stop, bitches.
Okay. Now that we all
Okay, folks.
We will show you the power of flex tape.
I put on a special bag for this so I wouldn't scare you guys, okay? I wear a bag over my head to play the game after all. But for this one, I got out one of my special ones, you know, the ones you got from like Publix with the handles and stuff like this. Got the holes cut out. Works perfect.
All right, guys, we're going to start the meeting now. I've got priority push to talk turned on so I can kind of step on people here. Just ask, just like we do in every meeting, everyone to just keep their mics muted or keep yourself quiet. At the end, we're going to obviously let everybody pop in with questions and say things and do stuff like that. We do have a channel in Discord that I will be watching as I'm talking here. It's called Meeting Chat. So if you have anything to say, you want to, hell, if you want to talk some shit, make some jokes about what I'm saying, that's the place to do it. Just don't do it in voice right now. Let us have the room for a minute so we can say what we got to say. You guys can just chit chat in that channel right there while we're doing this. Give me 1 second here to get my notes pulled up. And by the way, I do have some little gifts for everybody that showed up today to the meeting. We'll get to that at the end. There's my notes. Sorry, I couldn't find them.
No, Big Daddy.
Okay, so there's not too much to discuss because we do one of these every month now. So I get all the usual stuff out of the way. Throughout the month, I just keep a list of notes, things I want to bring up in the meeting. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit each bullet point the best I can. Let my other staff say a few things that they want to say. And then we'll go to questions and stuff like that. And then let you guys get on with your night and me giving out some presents. So the first note I have is discuss land arguments. And my neighbor built right next to me. I hate to sound like a dick, but the official stance on this is really just get over it. This is Rust. I think a lot of people are conditioned on PvE servers to have everything be butterflies and rainbows, and that's not really what we're doing here. Obviously, if someone's griefing you or purposely trying, and I mean purposely, I don't mean I don't like that guy, he built next to me. I mean, you know, it's very obvious that they're trying to make your life miserable. They're surrounding your entire base, you know, they built a giant donut-shaped base surrounding yours just so you can't go anywhere. That's blatantly griefing you. But if someone built real close to you, I agree it's annoying. I agree it's stupid. I agree it drives me nuts because you guys have seen me bitch and moan for months now about everybody building right on top of each other. So I definitely agree with you, but it's not against our rules. We cannot keep having support tickets and disputes between players just because someone built close to you. The best thing I can tell you is just try to talk it out with that player. There's just nothing we can do. My staff doesn't have time to keep answering those. I can't stress it enough. I definitely agree with you. It's irritating, but it's Rust. That's just the way it is. Rust allows players to build within however many meters of a TC, and that's where we allow players to build. We're not going to keep making more and more rules just because people are getting irritated. Like I said twice now, just try to talk it out with that player, but there's no need to escalate it to staff. There's not really much we can do about it.
And when he means talk, we mean talk. We don't mean yell, scream, because the one thing I've noticed is we all get heated. We all get cranky and angry. But most of us, if, you know, we talk to each other as opposed to what the hell are you doing? Why the hell are you, you know, humping my wall with your wall? Goes a lot easier when it's, hey, bud, you know, can we talk about this? Can we see about maybe moving a little bit further, XYZ? So.
Yeah, and with that said, I've literally had someone get banned for using the N-word before and come talk to me personally, and the way he talked to me and the mannerisms he used with me, I unbanned him. And I'm married to a black woman, so the N-word really pisses me off. And this guy talked himself out of a permanent ban just by the way he approached me. in the way he talked to me about it. So, you know, just you can catch a lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, old saying. So just, you know, talk to the person. Maybe they'll move their base. Hell, offer them some resources. Let me give you a couple of K-Stone and help you get built somewhere else. I'm weird like that. I like my space. Here, let me help you move. Just be nice about it. You never know. All right, moving on. Okay, yeah. So this is a pretty general note here. I don't even remember what was going on at the time that made me write this one, but my note says, explain what exactly we are willing to get involved in as staff and what you just need to deal with on your own as a Rust player. One example would be what we just discussed. But there's a lot of things that go on. Again, goes back to my whole butterflies and rainbows comment that people think have to go to the admins for. This is Rust. I don't know if you guys know this. Everybody should that plays Rust. You log into this game butt naked with a rock and get shot in the face with an AK-47. That's how Rust is. That's how you start Rust. We've all been there because I don't know about you, but I didn't know there was even such thing as a PvE server when I started Rust. I logged in, got shot in the face on a beach, and I said, this game is stupid, and I logged back out again. Rust is not nice. Rust is not friendly. You can't keep asking us to help with every little Rust thing. There's bugs in Rust. There's glitches in Rust. There's stupid things that happen in Rust, like the crate on the oil rig despawns after a certain amount of time since people start the rig. I mean, there's just dumb stuff that happens with Rust. We don't have any control over that stuff, and players keep wanting to come to us about Rust things that we can't help. The AI, it behaves like it has Down syndrome. We can't do anything about that. Building things, sometimes you'll be in the middle of a flat open field. You have 2 foundations to your left. You have 2 foundations to your right. You go to place another one and it says you can't build here. We don't know why. It just does stupid things like that. There's nothing we can do about that. We get a ton of tickets all the time about things that are just what I call #Rust stuff. There's nothing we can do about it. So that kind of stuff has to stop. Also, you know, if you die to normal gameplay, we're not here to solve that. I mean, that's video games. I know a lot of you are much younger than me. I'm ancient. In my day of growing up with video games, you die a lot and you lose all your progress when you die. I mean, that's just it. I come from a background of PvP servers and MMOs where, you know, you can play for 6 months and lose everything. It's just the way it happens. So in Rust, again, if it's not something our server directly caused or our plugins or map caused, like you fall through a hole in the map, or one of our plugins just glitches out and somehow kills you. If it's not one of those things, we're not going to get involved. We cannot stop. You know, we've had people threaten us, like, I'm never coming back to this server again because they die to a zombie horde or something in normal gameplay. That's just not fair to us as staff. Like, you make us feel bad. We try our best to make this place fun, but it needs to be a challenge. We don't want this to be some easy mode server and you're going to die and things are going to happen. You're going to lose stuff. Let's face it, it's not hard to get things in a PvE server. I can't even count the amount of times per wipe we have someone screaming at us and quitting and rage quitting and threatening us or demanding that we compensate them. And I'm a donor. You should know. Just know this is a video game. You are going to fail sometimes. You're going to lose stuff sometimes. You're going to die sometimes. And people need to just learn what we will and will not help with. So normal gameplay stuff, we don't help with that. If it happens, it happens. Again, there's always little exceptions. You know, if you lose power, jump on Discord on your phone. Hey guys, I was flying a minicopter. We just got a lightning strike and lost power. I will gladly go save your stuff for you, man. Like, we're not jerks. We understand stuff happens, but just not normal gameplay stuff. You know, we're not going to help with that. You know, your wife goes in the hospital and you're going to be gone for 3 days. You don't want your base to get deleted. Just tell us. We'll go take care of it for you. We do that kind of stuff. But normal gameplay, you got to stop screaming to us when you die or you lose stuff. That's just the way the game is.
Note, if you decide to come to us every wipe going, my wife is in labor time, can you throw like some stone in my base? I will, we will eventually just tell you no.
I'm just going to go to your wife and see what's up.
Don't abuse it.
I'm just going to go holler at your wife and see if you're lying. All right, so moving on. Let's see. Support tickets being used for common questions anyone could have answered. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. I don't really have to get too detailed into this one because we just started the new Sentinel program, which I think is one of my later notes. So I'll just go ahead and tackle that one now. You guys know we started up a new Sentinel program. Sentinels are just basically player volunteers that have their own little support ticket system. So most of the people in this channel already know what the hell they're doing in our server and don't really need that system. But you guys can help me spread the word. I see a lot of you when people ask questions, telling players, go ask the support bot, blah, blah, blah. So you guys already helped me with that. Now you can help me with the Sentinel thing. So if you see someone asking, questions like that, you're more than welcome to tell them to go send a message to Zombot in our Discord, and that's the Sentinel program thing up there. I think that's what I named him. Did I name him Zombot? Yeah, he is named Zombot. Okay. So if you send a message to Zombot, it goes to a totally separate support ticket system that's handled by these player volunteers. It's for stuff that doesn't require an admin. It can be anything from, you guys would be shocked. We actually get asked at least once or twice a wipe, when is wipe in support bot. So 3:00 in the morning, every admin's cell phone dings with a question, when is wipe? So this is why we made this new system. It can be stupid questions like when is wipe. It can be harder questions, just about Rust in general. We get a ton of support tickets as staff about everyday Rust stuff that people could have just Googled and figured out on their own that has nothing to do with our server. So that's kind of what this whole Sentinel program is for. Any questions in between. If it needs to be escalated to an admin, it'll get escalated to an admin. Real quick, touching on the importance of announcement and update log channels. Just today, you know who you are. Someone was not too happy about not knowing about something, but that something was posted in the update log and announcements channel. Everything I do with this server will always be posted in one of those two things. Announcements I use for bigger things, or if I have to ping everyone type things. Update log, if I pluck a hair out of a zombie's ass, I'm going to tell you about it in the update log. That way there's never any surprises or never anybody bitching about, I didn't know that this was changed or whatever. So you guys really need to, I understand wanting to mute a bunch of our channels. I have a bunch of our channels muted myself. You really might want to think about going through here and just muting the channels you don't want to hear and leaving update log and announcements unmuted instead of just doing a global server mute, because those two channels are extremely important. If you don't want to do it that way and you have your own Discord, you can always just follow those channels and they'll broadcast to your Discord. I enabled that feature a few days ago. So if you go to the top of one of those two channels and click follow, you can have it go to your own Discord. So you can always know if there's a change to the server and you'll never be left in the dark. My next note is about Bandit Camp minicopters. These are vanilla. I see questions every day almost about this. These are straight vanilla. These are the minicopters that you used to see on the side of the road. We have no control over them. We have nothing that alters them. We have nothing that changes the settings of them. Nothing. They're pure vanilla. When you buy one, it's all yours. It's under your control. However, FacePunch has them set up to be. That's how they work. Nothing we have affects them at all. They're not to be confused with the veteran minicopters that we can lock and control. Recall them and spawn them again and all that kind of shit. We can't do that with Bandit Camp ones. They are no different than the old roadside ones that you used to find.
And this same is going to be going for the boats that will be introduced next wipe, where you can't find them anymore. You have to buy them.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that.
And that's FacePunch. That's not us. So guys, don't yell at me for stuff that FacePunch does, because I promise you, FacePunch does not make anyone more angry than they do a server owner. Let's see, what do we got next? Bot attack heli is actually vanilla. I don't know why I've got that note in there. Something must have happened. That note's almost a month old. So I'll just touch it real fast. I don't know what the hell I was even on at the time, but the bot helis, the personal heli, the attack heli that you call in, those are vanilla. There's actually a built-in Rust command. It's called drop, drop is actually the one that makes it appear, but there's another command that makes it come to you from off the map. It's a built-in Rust function. Like, our personal attack helis are not customized. They're not special. They're not different. They literally just, when you buy any command from the /s store, you're just firing off a console command like you were an admin. So when you buy a personal attack heli, you're firing off the command. I think it's the command is like call to, heli call to or something like that. I don't remember, but it's just a regular old Rust command that takes an attack heli, spawns it off the map, and has it make a beeline straight for you. We've had issues with players, asking if this and that about the attack helis and thinking, I don't know what happened at the time. Maybe it's because one of them expired and flew off the map or something like that, which they will do if you don't fight them, kill them quick enough. So those are vanilla. Our loot locking plugin obviously affects those too, which makes them look like they're not vanilla because we lock the loot and the damage like we do with the other helis. But I promise you they're vanilla. Raid bases go public when completed. This has definitely been a hot issue, which I don't understand. It's we've even been arguing in staff about this between ourselves. I even have staff that didn't realize that this has been this way for as long as it has. So we got Nivix involved, who actually wrote the code. This has been like this for at least 3 to 4 months now. If you complete a raid base, it turns public. The bubble's still there. You haven't completed it. It hasn't despawned yet, but it's public. We did this on purpose. When we first did raid bases, people would go in there, they'd jack a couple boxes, to get the loot they wanted to, or they just pop the TC real quick so they can get credit for the kill, because we had a player back then that used to want to have tons of kills on the raid base leaderboards. And then they leave the whole base sitting there with all that loot still in there and nobody could touch it. So we changed it. This is about 3 or 4 months ago, to where once the base is completed, anybody can come along and start scavenging loot. So, again, we don't know if we're going to stick with that or change it, but right now it's still that way. It's been that way for, 3 to 4 months now. So just be careful, especially with these, 10,000 radius exploding arrows. If you blow the TC and complete that raid, it is now public and anyone can come in there and start scavenging loot. And let me rephrase that. It is not stealing. The reason it's not stealing, I've had even admins have been arguing about this. The reason it's not stealing is because I purposely have programmed the raid-based plugin to have that feature for people to be able to come in and take the loot. So you can't accuse somebody of stealing something when they're doing something that I personally, made sure the server would let them do. That's not stealing. Again, we have some staff that don't agree with us having it set that way, so we may end up changing it someday. I don't know. We're still in discussion on that. But for now, just know you complete a base, it's public. Anyone can come in there and start taking loot, and they are not breaking a rule by doing so because the server is allowing them to do so. Okay, next one. Oh, this has definitely been baffling us lately. If you find a spot where you can build and it just seems too good to be true or seems really awkward, you need to come talk to us, because we've got 20 plus maps. I've got to go through each of these maps and make all these little no build spots, and I got to find all the little holes where someone could have snuck back there. You got to understand, a map doesn't come with no build areas per se. Obviously the vanilla monuments have them built in, but everything else on the map you could build on. So I could literally stick a giant, dome in the sky, and you could go up there and build on it, because nothing comes with a no build zone pre-built into it. So I have to go manually around all the parts of the map that I don't want players being able to build in, and I have to set them to no build. Like this castle right now, if I didn't have this castle set to no build, you could go on the very top of one of the spires and just build a giant base up there. It's just the way it is. So I'm a human. I have 2 full-time jobs, and I make mistakes and miss things sometimes. So if something looks too good to be true, or it just looks like, man, do they really want me to be able to build here? Come ask us first, because you're going to save us a lot of heartache and yourself a lot of trouble when, again, even though it's our mistake, you still can't build in some of these spots. We had people building inside monuments this wipe, where there was just a gap in the no build zones. Like you couldn't build on one end, you couldn't build on the other end, but there was a spot you could. So these people literally blocked off an entire section of a monument behind a key card door. Like if you're behind a key card door and you find a spot you can build, it's probably not meant to be that way. I mean, like, who in their right mind will let you build behind a key card door where all the loot spawns? You got NPCs guarding your base technically now. You got a key card door that people have to get through to get to your base now. There's just no way we would intend for you to be able to build there. So if you find something like that, just come ask us. It takes 2 seconds to ask, and then we'll tell you yes or no, and save you a lot of trouble. For example, launch site. You can build on top of the launch site this wipe. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, I don't know what sparked this note either, but it's explain to them that feedback is always necessary, well thought out feedback, not anger. I do not get to play this game. So
constructive feedback is what we want.
yeah, and the reason I think I put this note in there is I think somebody was mad about some setting or the damage or just something. Maybe it was even a stack size. I don't know. But the point is, I haven't played Rust in 14 months now. I don't have time. I don't think you guys know how much time the server takes, but so I don't know how things work and how things affect you. Like, I mean, I've never even run oil rig in my life. Like, that's how long it's been since I've played Rust. So I don't know how things feel as far as a player goes. Like, so if I set things, I'm just setting them to the best I can think of they need to be set to. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I'm definitely not infallible. I'm wrong all the damn time. But you guys need to come tell me that kind of stuff and not be a jerk about it. I've had people, screaming and rage quitting and all this kind of stuff because I changed the setting to this or I set something that way. Like, I don't know. I don't play this game. I'm literally going into these things blind and doing the best I can. So hey, cause. So you guys got to tell me if something seems off or something seems wrong. I'm very open to criticism and feedback. It just depends on how you give it to me. I change things all the time against what I think they should be set to, just because someone came to me constructively and we figured it out and got it tweaked. So feel free to come to me with stuff like that.
To piggyback off that, the suggestions, that is also a big thing that'll help too. Giving it a constructive, something constructive in there, as opposed to, hey, this stack size is wrong. Being like, okay, this is why I feel like the stack size should be increased. It was this, that, and the other thing. Maybe we should increase it again. Give us a reason, give us something other than just, the stack size of bullets are wrong. They should be 10,000. Okay, why is it wrong? What makes it wrong? Why?
Yeah, and make sure the reason isn't just to make the game easier for you, because I will definitely deny that. I want this game to be hard. I want you guys to die a lot. I want it to be challenging. I want it to be scary. So things that people want changed just for that reason is not going to happen. But at the same time, I don't want to make you miserable and make you want to not play. So I have to skate that fine line between challenge and not being too easy and getting bored. Can one of you staff answer that guy in the chat, Swihard? I think he was one of the people. We had a glitch with the firebomb, the big arrow. It was glitched out and all the arrow permissions weren't working, to where like it was letting every rank have every arrow. Just like magic spells, you're supposed to have certain spells for certain ranks. And we fixed it, and now a lot of people are freaking out because they don't have the big arrow. So just so you guys all know, that's why that's happening right now. Only veterans were supposed to have the big arrow. And which actually brings me to the next thing. That's kind of good timing there. Is my next note was about reporting things versus concealing things. I'm a very, very forgivable person. I know everybody thinks I'm just big meanie or whatever, but I'm actually not. I do this with my staff, and I'll do it with my players too. If you just come to me with stuff, I mean, I would literally let you slap my mom if you just told me you had to do it, But if you just got to come to me with stuff. If you crash a heli on someone's base and burn up all their crap, just report it to the staff so we can go deal with it, or try to figure out what to do, or try to save their stuff. If you try to conceal it, though, that's different. If you find an unlocked base, don't just start stealing their shit. Let us know. Hey, can I take any of this stuff? We're probably going to tell you no, but just let us know. We may go look at the base and see, because we have ways of identifying things, and say, hey, this player hasn't been on in 4 days and they've only got like 10 health left on these walls. So you know what? Sure, here, take the stuff. It's about to blow anyway. But just come to us. Whereas if you take it upon yourself to just try to hide things and sneak around and exploit things and glitch things, we're not going to be too excited about having to deal with that. So it doesn't hurt to just come to us. We're actually pretty forgiving. You'd be surprised some of the stuff players have come to me for, and I'm just like, whatever, have fun. So next note would be, nitro boosts. Hey, we're only 2 nitro boosts short of finally getting a custom URL for our Discord. So just wanted to put a plug out there. If anybody wants to nitro boost the server, we do have a nitro boost kit that you unlock in game. I don't remember what's in it. There's got to be a nitro booster in here somewhere.
I know
there's
What's in it,
paper
Art?
5 paper and 3 airdrops, I believe.
Is it once per wipe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 paper, 3 airdrops. I mean, just for being a nitro booster, it's not bad. Once per
I'll
wipe.
say
Good way to start the wipeout
I'll
right
push that
there.
for you.
You can buy a lot of shit in town for 5 paper, so not a bad kit for just being a nitro booster. Let's see. The new Sentinel support system, I already tackled that earlier. Pass to Drek for deployable limits. Well, Drek, there you go, man.
So first off, I want to say thank you. Most people have been pretty good with this. You know, we have run into some spots where it's been like, hey, why does this person have 72 planters? They're not on the server anymore, mind you. They were also already in their last legs to begin with, but a lot of deployable stuff okay, so first off, I want to say this. There were several of us that put out an entire fleshed out list of every deployable in this game and had a number. T-Bird said no. So the list you see that is in announcements, which we'll eventually put into the rules and things like that, so it will be there in game. We're kind of working with it. We're playing with it. We want to see how things go before we put this in there and then have everybody go, oh God. But it's a living thing. Trying to see where it feels comfortable for everybody as a whole. I understand one person may not like the fact that they can't have 97 planters. But again, I don't know about anybody else, but the river this wipe seemed a little bit better. There's still some big bases and there's still a lot of stuff there, but I didn't drop down from, you know, my 60-ish frames to like 10 this wipe. I dropped down to like 30. I'll take that. So keep that up, guys. The deployable limits have been helping. If anybody is feeling that something is specifically like this is the worst thing known to man, use the suggestion forums. Use the suggestion part of it. Let us know. Talk to us. You know, we changed out a little bit with the planters because there's the small and large. We just made it large. You know, we have flown around, we have gone through bases, and we have left notes on people's bodies, and we have removed planters, and we've removed furnaces, and we've removed pumps because they've gone over. Just like our rules, guys. Ignorance of the rules does not make you immune to it.
All right.
In the beginning of the wipes, we tried to, you know, in the beginning, we're trying to be a little nicer about things. We're trying to be a little more strict as we're going in.
All right, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so moving on. Hey, real quick, Momo. Is Momo in here?
You know it.
What's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Been a long time.
Yeah, I've been busy with Call of Duty, and this whole COVID thing's got my work all crazy, so.
Nice. All right, cool. Just want to say hey to you real quick. I noticed you were in there. Okay, so moving on. Let me see where my meeting notes when I was reading the meeting chat channel while he was talking. Let me see where I was. Sorry, I'm old. I lose my place real easy.
Just did deployable, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I got you. All right. All right. NPC bosses and zombie changes. I don't know if you guys read the update log or announcements when I did it, but so the NPC bosses, I changed it now to where it's just one boss. Obviously, this map's different. It's got the Santa bot, but normally it'd just be one boss that. Sorry, my dog decided to come stand and shake right next to me. Normally just be one. It's one boss now, and he randomly spawns between all the vanilla monuments. So he's not a harbor boss. He's not an airfield boss. He's just a boss, and he'll pick one and randomly spawn there. The zombies, just in an attempt to make the server harder. As you guys know, we can't really increase the zombie count. We have a certain threshold we can't go over with NPCs, and we are definitely flirting with that threshold every wipe with the NPC raid bases. So what we did was to make it more challenging, since there were less zombies than back in the old days, is we made the zombies have an insane amount of health, but you can kill them pretty quick if you know what you're doing. Just kind of make it a little more challenging. When a zombie comes, you actually can get a little scared now, rather than just I got to waste a few bullets. What do we got here? PvP, no building on raid bases. PvP raid bases. You guys know we made some changes where you can't build, or we made a rule where you can't build on the edge of a raid bubble because we got tired of people skirting the edge of the bubble. Same thing goes with fighting from the edge of the bubble. We increased the timer when you step out of the bubble on how long you're still going to be PvP flagged, and we were originally going to make that timer even longer than we did, If we still see a problem with that, we will raise that timer even higher to where you could be PvP flagged for like 5 minutes afterwards. The goal here is it's like I do with everything I do with deployables and farm bases. And the goal here is just to get you guys to self-police it, so I don't have to sit there and step in and do something. I don't want to raise the timer that high, but if I can't get you guys to quit skirting the edge of the bubble, it's pretty cheesy. It's technically exploiting. If you want to fight PvP, get in there and fight. If you don't want to fight, don't fight. Don't sit there and try to purposely exploit the edge of the bubble to jack people up that are just playing the right way. That's not really fair. Cameras in monuments. I've started sticking cameras in some of the monuments. I plan on doing more as time progresses. It's real tedious. I have to actually wire them up inside the map editor and do all kinds of stuff. It's tedious, but as time goes, I'll keep adding more and more to more monuments. Hopefully people are actually using them. At least check on the monument, see if it's been run or not. We're putting the camera IDs on the map preview, so you guys can just look there, see the ID numbers, and type them into your computer station, and you can check, see if somebody just did Zombie Island or whatever. It'd also be fun to just watch people get killed. Trade and commerce channel. You guys asked for that, gave it to you, and nobody's posted a single thing in there yet. So just reminding you that channel is there in Discord. If we don't see it getting any use, we're probably going to get rid of it. We had a big campaign recently to clean up our Discord, so not looking to clutter it up even more. Let's see. The electrical demo and okay, so the kind of touching on what Drac was going on earlier. This whole wind turbine fad that's going on right now with these like 74-story tall wind turbines. I don't know what's causing it or why people are doing it. I don't know if that's like some new meta that I'm just old and I'm not hip enough to keep up with all the latest trends, but it's gotta chill, or we're gonna have to add those to some kind of deployable limit thing too. And again, like I said, I hate doing that. I'd much rather people just self-police themselves. So the thing is I don't get why you guys are building these things so tall. I did a huge demo on this map showing you the different power levels and what you're getting for power. Showed you guys ways to wire things up sequentially, like in a series of batteries, so that you always have power. I know why you're doing them is for these farms, which again, don't get me started on the farms, but there's no need to have 30-story tall wind turbines. The amount of extra power you're getting is so negligible, it's pointless. You can throw one solar panel will give you as much power as 4 stories below your wind turbine. So it's just absolutely pointless, and it looks like shit. It lags people out, and as you guys know, it's always in the crowded river area, which is a nightmare of its own. So now, not only was somebody flying by in a minicopter freeze up for 3 seconds while their graphics card tries to render in all those bases, even when it does unfreeze, they're going to slam into a tower now because there's wind turbines all over the place sticking up into the sky. So can we please, again, can't make you do it yet. I haven't made it a rule. I don't want to make it a rule. I don't want to make it a limit. So I'm just going to politely say, can we please stop with the giant turbine towers? You can literally stick a turbine on the roof of your farm and it'll generate plenty of power for you. There's no need to go. Sorry, my dog is literally determined to drive me nuts. There's no need to go 20 stories tall with these wind turbines. Put it on your roof. If you have to put it up a little higher, put it 1 or 2 stories up. It doesn't make a big enough difference that you need to go that high. When I did my test that I showed you guys in Discord the other day, I did it on top of a mountain with nothing in the way, nothing blocking the wind. And I built those things huge, small, every size in between. And the power difference was like 4 power per story. It's so pointless. I'm going to stop there because I can go on for days about these farms and wind turbines. My next note is shadow play in documentation of reports. Shadow play is free as far as somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I suggest I suggest everybody gets shadow play or some other type of method of recording your gameplay. They allow you to record backwards, so you don't have to keep recording all the time. You can just hit a button and save the last 30 seconds of gameplay. This is it's crucial for our support tickets. There is no magic admin button that tells us everything that just happened. We can't sit there and we just can't. Best we can do is he said, she said, or witness it ourselves. If you get us a video, we just witnessed it ourselves. You'd be surprised some of the.
It has to be something that is definitive, like the person walking up to the crate and going in, like you can see them like actively going into the crate. Things like that. We need things like that to show it.
Yeah, we can't have
If we
suspicion.
just have if we just have somebody, you just see a video of a person standing there, that doesn't show us anything.
Yeah, we've had tickets like that where they're like, see that guy running down the road, he just stole the crate from me. Well, like all you're showing me is a video of a guy running down the road. That doesn't tell me anything. We have to see. So I mean, and play it smart. You guys know the situations where that kind of stuff could happen. You're about to hit a lock crate on an oil rig, or you're popping a raid base and you see somebody coming towards you with a minicopter, and you're thinking, oh God, are they going to try to jump in there and steal my loot? You guys know the situations. You've played Rust long enough to know the kind of shady crap a typical Rust player will pull. So when you see that kind of stuff happening, get yourself a good vantage point just in case, and hit record. Or if it does happen, hit the backwards record so you can get it and send it to us. I'm telling you, you guys have my word. You know me. I'm a pretty strong-willed dude. I'm telling you right now, if someone's breaking my rules and stealing your shit, I will ban their ass, period. But you got to prove it to me. I can't just go on your word. As much as I like you, I can't go on your word. I have to have proof. We have a lot of people that have spats with each other on the server, and it takes nothing for them to say, oh, so-and-so stole something from me and try to get somebody banned. It's just, we can't do that. We have to have proof.
Now, just quick piggyback off that, the same side of it. If it's a new player, guys, still send us a video. We may go talk to them because, half of us, most of us, if not all of us, have started off on a PvP server where jumping into somebody's base, whacking a fucking TC, and then taking all the loot, or going up to an airdrop or a crate or something is normal. They may not realize that.
Yeah, just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Even if you saw that, take a video of it, send it to us. I would much rather go to a new player. I've had players on this server that I've talked to that I've been like, dude, this is not how we run this. This is this is against our rules. Da da da. And they're like, oh shit, I didn't realize. I'll give back the stuff. And they give back the stuff, walk away, and that's it. And they're still playing.
Yeah, our goal here is to keep players, not lose them.
Still take videos. Still do that.
The last thing to touch on real quick, this is the last main topic of my notes here, is for PvP Day, we are going to nerf the archery a little bit. As you guys have realized, it is stupid overpowered. We still want you to be able to use it and PvP with it and all that kind of stuff. We're going to tone the damage on all that stuff, magic and archery. We for PvP, we'd much rather it have been like, oh, cool, look, they're ziplining into the base, or some guy was trying to snipe me and I harpooned his ass out of his window. Fun stuff like that. It's not meant to be, oh, look, I just blew half his base out with one arrow. So we're going to tone that down for PvP. We were going to tone it down earlier, but it's mid-wipe. We'll let you guys have your fun and be gods for a minute and just lay waste to the whole map with some arrows and whatever. But we're gonna tone it down for PvP because like I said, there's a thin line between letting people have fun and making it miserable. So we don't want people to just quit for PvP Day because it's just way too ridiculous. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. Staff, any staff have anything you need to add? This is your chance.
Just to piggyback on the recording thing, if you have AMD, you can use Relive, which is their software. It's a little bit more. You have to YouTube it because I'm not familiar with the process, but it's a little bit more inclusive than NVIDIA's Shadowplay.
Just to add on that, it really screws with the FPS and lag.
I think the only thing that I would probably add is, just in general, try really hard to keep your patience about certain things. T-Bird's gone through the effort of opening a whole meeting so that we can explain basically what the day in life is like for us. But there are some times where I go and engage with somebody or on an issue, and they're already just over the roof with how upset they are. And you've got to understand. I mean, it is just a game at the end of the day, and I've been there. I've lost my stuff. I've had games glitch and everything else. Just try to take it down a notch sometimes. We'll do our best to help you out, and when we can't, I mean, that's just the way it is, and you'll move on and get more loot. I mean, there's plenty of loot coming, so just take it easy sometimes is all. I don't know that applies to anybody here, but just overall.
We are humans just like you guys. We deal with everything in most of us play the game just like you guys. We just have these abilities that allow us to sit there and see things and do strange things that we don't use in normal gameplay. So my radar doesn't get turned on in normal gameplay. My radar gets turned on when I have to look for you guys, watch things, see if who's at oil rig and doing what. So, realize we're just like you guys, just have more responsibility.
So you're the footsteps I always hear behind me.
No, you can't.
Footsteps.
You can't hear us in Vanish, but yeah, just you keep that in mind. Our staff are, well, not me. If they have red in front of their name, they're not a normal player. They don't play. But the rest of our staff, I think that's what sets us apart. There's a reason we have 12 staff members on this server, and you guys have 24-hour-a-day support. Is because I'm probably the only server owner that I've ever come across, at least, that allows his staff to play on the server. And the reason I allow them to play is because there's real strict guidelines of what they can and cannot do. Like these guys, you see them dying in chat all the time. They have to turn all their shit off when they play, and they can't see me, period. Even with their admin abilities, I'm completely invisible to them. So I can hover and watch them and see what they're doing. And I've caught staff members in the past doing some shady shit, and they're gone. So just know that I do keep a very close watch on my staff. But the fact that they get to play here and enjoy this game is what makes us have this huge staff of people that can support you all. So just keep that in mind. They're normal players and people just like you. And man, we take a lot of abuse. I mean, you just have no idea some of the abuse we take from players. It's just ridiculous. So, and again, I don't see anybody in this channel right now that really abuses us. So it's not directed towards somebody. I'm just saying. Except Arctic, but just over the months, we really take a lot of abuse from players. I mean, hell, I had to get the FBI to actually go to someone's house in real life because of this server, and the things that player was saying to me.
I do have one other thing to say, which is just that I appreciate that so many people showed up for this, and the engagement in the community here is awesome. And just thank you guys all for being here and for helping other players all the time. That stuff is really nice. The Sentinel system is really cool, and the community here is just fantastic.
Here, I second that. You guys are great, absolutely great community. I'm not gonna lie, just coming from a server owner standpoint, that like it's just unreal what's happened in 1 year. Went from being pissed off at my server, starting my own just for the hell of it, to what we have now. I legit, and I mean this with all sincerity, I legit actually care about you people, my players, my staff. This server just wouldn't exist without you guys. It would just be an empty box. So, I get irritated at having to deal with drama and trouble and face punch breaking everything, but just know I really do care about you guys. You make this place fun. Every morning, the first thing I do is open Discord, and my day starts with the server. And every day, the last thing I see is this Discord and all my players, and I enjoy it, every bit of it, except Poo Water.
That last part, I'm surprised we haven't gotten Discord messages from his wife going, he's looking at Discord again.
Yeah, it happens all night. You can ask the staff. I'm literally 3:00 in the morning in bed, still on Discord, checking on my server. Like, I truly do care about all you guys. So I do appreciate that. You guys have made the most amazing community I've ever seen in any video game. I led a clan for 20 years in many games, and this community right here on my Rust server blows that one away. It's unreal. We get players all the time logging into our server, and they're like, what the hell is going on here? There's people helping me. There's people being friendly. There's admins that are actually here and doing stuff like this. It's an incredible place, and every bit of that is because of the community. It's not because of me. It's because of you guys, period, and the staff, obviously. So, if no other staff has anything else to add, we're going to go to the questions now. Anybody?
Yeah, I got one thing.
What's up?
So, TPing to staff, it needs to stop. Like, I multiple of us or whatever keep getting people TPing to us. Understand, we're half the time flying up in the middle of the air or flying underneath the map. If you TP to us and we accept, you're gonna fall. We'll probably be like, well, that's your fault. We won't help
if
you.
You die, we will let you die. And we'll not retrieve your stuff if it is under the map.
That's on you at that point. So we prefer it just to stop, because it pops up and then we look at it and it takes away from what we're doing.
Speaking of which, on a side note, two last things real quick, and we'll get to the questions. One is while he was talking, my wife just called me, and I said, "Hey, I'm on a server meeting." Fine, bye. See, told you. My wife's even sick of it. Anyway, so with what Mac was just saying, just know, as much as I love my players and defend my players, I will never allow someone to harass my staff. As you know, we have about it used to be half. It's probably about 30 or 40% now that Voodoo's on extended leave. She's moving right now, for those that don't know. Anyway, so we have about half female in our staff right now. As you know, our females in our staff are very sweet, very friendly. I swear to God, if my dog comes in here and shakes like that one more time, I'm going to boot him. He got neutered, so he has that cone on right now. And he wants to keep shaking to get it off. Anyway, yeah, he's driving me nuts. So as you guys know, we have the sweetest lady staff in the world. I mean, they're the most adorable, the most friendly, the most sweet. And as you all know, with the internet, that can lead to some weird interactions with people. Yeah, Nessa's Zap especially, he's my favorite woman on the staff. But I just know that I will not tolerate any kind of harassment or even just constant badgering or just bothering. Just don't make my females uncomfortable. The staff, they're a great asset. I mean, a huge asset. They probably work harder than most of the dude admins. So making them feel uncomfortable or making them feel harassed is not doing anything for the server. They're not going to hook up with you. They're not going to holler at you. They're all happily taken. So just back off if you want to make them feel uncomfortable. I'm going to get involved, and it's not going to be pretty.
If you ask us for nudes, we're going to send you a nude of Zap.
Because we all have them.
Wait,
I will forward them to you.
Okay.
Look, this is
So,
not a threat.
huh? I missed something. Okay, so yeah, it's a promise. Look, all right, hold on. Look, dog, the cone ain't coming off. Go shake somewhere else. Okay, so we're gonna get to questions now. I'm just gonna watch the meeting chat channel. Can everybody keep the chat part down for a second so I don't miss questions? Because they're gonna scroll by pretty fast with everybody typing.
On slow mode. We can put it on slower to make it a little
Get
easier.
a little slower there.
Give me a second. I'm getting over there unless somebody else does it.
Okay, what percentage are you toning down the firebomb arrow? We don't know. We're gonna get on the test server and we're gonna play with some settings. We'll probably throw a raid base down, fire off some arrows, see what kind of explosion it does. We just want it to where you're not gonna be able to drop a base like it's nothing. Again, we're not gonna do it until PvP day because we want you to have fun and be crazy right now. But yeah, we got to tone that down. We don't want PvP day to end in 45 minutes and then there's nothing left for the remainder of the time. So we'll try not to nerf it too hard. We're not going to make it pointless, but it's not going to be just to go to blow everything up. Yeah, it's absolutely excessive. So we're going to make it so that you're still going to need to use some C4 and some rockets. How about that? Can we ever have raids on uneven terrain? No. The way the raids work is they scan the ground. They can't have anything more than I think 1.75 elevation change per meter or something like that. They can't have any certain things around, like certain type of rock formations. They can't have any kind of custom monuments or buildings around. They can't be within huge distances of monuments. And this is all built into the plugin. This is not something I did. And even worse, this is why I complain and scream as much as I do about how y'all build. Is they cannot be within 150 meters of any player entity. So if you drop down a deployable like a sleeping bag or a recycler, or you build a little 1x1 as a teleport spot, or you build a base and you don't like it anymore and you move somewhere else and you just leave that shit there, or you put down some high walls for something like shooting at a boss NPC and then you just leave the high walls there, all those places, you just made a ton of spots that raid bases can no longer spawn anymore. So that's a huge.
Leaving deployables for that has been better.
Good, very good.
I will say that I have not had to move anybody's walls to their bases in front of their doors or in the most awkward spots. So, on that point, that has been better, and I thank everybody.
Yeah, but just with the buildings alone, I mean, when you guys are spreading out all over the place and building these, you got 5 giant bases all surrounded by high walls. I mean, you just took out like probably a 3 map grid circle that no NPC bases can spawn anymore. It's a huge problem we're having. Hence the fact that I keep putting these flat islands with no build zones over them. I mean, I'm doing it so that we always have a guaranteed spot for them to spawn, but it sucks because now they're just always spawning there because players are taking up all the land, and that's just kind of lame that they always spawn in the same place. But there's nothing I can do if players won't stop building all over taking up all the good ground. Have it in the rules. Haven't seen it. No, we're not going to put more rules in. We're trying to keep as many rules out as we can. I don't like rules. Yes, there is a Nitro Booster kit. Azul, if you don't have it, you just have to submit a support ticket. We can get it for you. Actually, Drac or somebody can probably just give it to you in game right now. Drac, you can hit that in the user permissions in admin.
I'm kitchen.
Okay, yes, whenever you get a chance, Azul.
Yep, I'll take care of that. Worst case scenario, send a support ticket in, and I'll take care of it as soon as I can, just like I do with the regular Discord kits.
Yeah, the suggestion, I think I remember that suggestion about some kind of wall in the deployable. There is no deployable. It's a no build zone is just a giant polygon in the map editor, and the performance of how that polygon works in Rust is up to FacePunch. I don't make the rules of a no build zone. It's just a thing I can set. I can either plop it down or I don't plop it down. And however they work is just however FacePunch programmed them to work. It's the same thing as why you can't build in the power plant, the grounds of the power plant. Same rule set. I have no control over how they work. That's just FacePunch. But I place them in those big areas so that raid bases can spawn. Yeah, you can spawn your vehicle there. People have been doing that a lot as a reason to hide or something to hide behind, but I can't change it to where you can put down certain things or not certain things. It's a built-in part of Rust.
I would also like to point out, folks, I do hard raids, I do medium raids, I do easy raids, all with the same stuff everybody else does them with. I normally do hard raids by blowing out a wall and slowly taking out NPCs. Yes, is it easier to throw a wall down? Is it easier to build something? Sure. But you don't need to. And I am not the best player in this game. I'm garbage compared to a lot of the people that play this game.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
Mr. Ugly, no, I don't have any way of rearranging the names in the Discord voice channel. All right, any more questions? Anybody else got something you want to type out real quick?
I think Garadon had one.
What's up?
Well, his with the abandonment feature, whatever, for the small little deployables.
The problem with that, Garadon, is it's based on the TC. So things that are not attached to the TC necessarily don't get involved in it. So even like if you make a player raid base and you put up high walls around it, or landmines, things like that, half the time it doesn't register those to be destroyed after. So the abandoned raid base thing doesn't quite kick in to see that. And we don't have anything that will directly affect that because deployables work differently with decay.
The raid islands being flat, I mean, they're flat for a reason, because if I made them lumpy and put rocks and stuff on them, there'd be less spots for raid bases to spawn, and they'd start spawning in the exact same spot over and over again. Or they just wouldn't spawn at all if they don't have any good spot to spawn in. And yeah, real quick, just in case no one knew how the whole abandoned base thing works, I'll do it real quick because I know we've been dragging this out. If you haven't been online for 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days, that would be a normal player, a VIP, or a veteran. 3, 5, and 7. Your base will automatically get converted into a player raid base. Same rule sets as when you make your own player raid base. You have to have a certain amount of boxes and walls and foundations and stuff so that it's an actual base. If it doesn't meet those minimum requirements, the plugin will just delete your base, period. So if you're not online for 3 days and you're a normal player, not a VIP or a veteran, your base will be either blown up by other players or will be deleted after that time. We've always had that plugin that deletes bases for those time frames, so it's not like we're doing something new. The only thing we changed was now it converts them into a raid base so other people can have some fun with it.
So, Baron, that's a Rust thing. That has nothing to do with us. There's no way for us to fix that or do anything with that.
Yeah, we don't alter any of the machines.
You know, that is
okay.
literally just something that hiccups because 1 minute I can be pulling a max out, the next minute I could be pulling 5.
I see.
And then Big Daddy, welcome to stability. It doesn't matter. It's all based on stability.
T-Bird, Captain Foam had asked a question about the PvP bomb change. He'd asked if you could if they could test it prior to PvP day. Would you maybe be able to just maybe do videos or something after you guys find the setting that you like, just so that they can see what it looks like?
Probably not, because I don't really think us filming a video of us shooting an arrow at like a base is really going to explain much. It's just, I mean, it's kind of like the same as when we first started the Magic. We didn't have okay, it's going to take you 2 fireballs to blow down a wall. You just got to kind of figure it out and go with it. Just know that we just want to bring it down to a level that you still got to do traditional PvP methods, because some of our players, the PvP day is their end goal. I mean, they play the wipe for PvP day. Let's face it, a PvE server can get pretty boring after a while. So that's their goal, is to farm up and build up and dominate PvP day. Make a couple people rage quit. That's what they do. So, I mean, I used to play. That's where I got the idea for this server. I used to play a PvE server, and we had a PvP day, and I loved it. My whole wipe was spent preparing for that day. So we want to be able to still take that day seriously at the end of this wipe. So we got to tone down the Magic. We're not going to get rid of it. It'll still be fun. It'll still be useful on some, NPC raid bases and stuff. Well, they won't even be spawning anyway, but those style bases, wood, stone, stuff like that. But you come across a big armored base, you're not going to be able to blow down 5 auto turrets with an arrow.
Yeah, I think what it is the auto turrets. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna make it so that you still need to use traditional PvP methods. But again, we're waiting till PvP day to do it anyway. So if you're having fun being godlike, just keep on having fun. We're not going to mess with it. We want you guys to have fun.
And it's something we have to test. It's something we have to look at, because yes, we built 3 admin raid bases this wipe, 2.
I think there's another one going on tonight too.
Somewhere. The problem is sometimes, yes, we see things, other times we don't. So something you guys never saw when this stuff came out, because I was testing it last wipe, was the fact that if I broke a wall with the arrows, it crashed. And guess what? All that was fixed before you guys ever saw it. But we don't always get to test things and do things as fast and as we like it. So will we do something? Will we get it rolling out as soon as we can? Maybe if we can, and this would be something I can talk with T about later. Maybe if we put it out a little earlier and let you guys know, so you guys can actually play with it and see how it works in the real stuff. I don't know. It depends all about what goes on with getting everything ready for PvP day tomorrow, and also us. We'll have real shit going on, outside of the so.
Hey, Captain Foam, just know, I mean, the best I can give you, you guys all seem real interested in exactly how we're going to nerf the stuff for PvP. Just know that you build your bases and plan your PvP day as if you would normally do it. Like, just ignore the fact that there's magic and stuff like that. I mean, obviously make things a little thicker, a little stronger, but we're not going to, like I said a minute ago, we're not going to be having, multiple auto turrets get blown out by an arrow. Stuff like that. We're going to make it on par with normal, rockets and C4 and stuff. And keep in mind, when I say that, normal rockets have a longer reload time. So maybe we lower the damage of the arrows and up their components, so that, if you want to use them big ass arrows, may hit harder and faster than a rocket, but it's going to take a hell of a lot more gunpowder. Something like that. I don't know yet. We're going to tweak it. We're going to mess with it. We actually have an Excel spreadsheet that me and Drax spent days on, tweaking all the damages and the focus costs and the component costs and the cooldowns, tweaking everything so that each tier of spell and each tier of arrow was better than the last, and that they weren't too overpowered, that they were on par with other things. And we're gonna tone it down a little bit for PvP to where you still need to use traditional methods, and you don't have to worry about your shit just getting blown to hell from a couple arrows.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification. I guess just a follow-up question, if I might ask, is it exclusive, the nerfing, to fire bombs, or will it also be something affected with like vanish and invulnerability?
No, it'll just be damage stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be the damage thing, because that's really the biggest thing. That is, okay, I shoot one firebomb arrow, and I literally watched at one point my entire screen on a hard raid base, with like a stream of traps being blown up.
Right.
So
yeah.
We need to do something.
Yeah, we know that the other stuff is going to be a huge impact on PvP, and we want it to be. We want people to vanish. We want people to go into God mode, and we want people to, do the double damage magic spell and the AoE heal. We know all that shit is really overpowered. So there's going to be fun stuff in PvP. We just the whole taking out half a base with one arrow thing. We got to nerf that for PvP. It's not fair.
Just wanted to plan around the rest of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
Pucky, I don't. You might have missed it earlier. We talked about the boss monuments. There's only one now, and he just randomly picks a monument when he spawns. So any vanilla monument, he only does vanilla monuments. So any vanilla monument could have the boss NPC. It's just one at a time now, though.
Whoever that random number person is, I don't know who that is, and I'm not gonna try and say that huge long number. So for the bases decaying, the general stance, and T can, obviously yell at me and say no, that's not how this works, but the general stance of if the base decays and there is gray bags,
Fair game.
If you're sitting there and you see a base that has no walls and all its boxes are there and its TC are there, don't touch it. Because frankly, if we find out that that's stealing, that person may not have had enough stone, but maybe logging in an hour. You don't know. I had a guy last wipe that their kid played in their account the day before, did everything, and put their stone in a box. Didn't put it in the TC. They logged into pretty much 3 foundations sitting there, and was trying to fix it. But all of a sudden, all their stuff is missing, and they're like, "I was just here 10 minutes ago. Where's all my stuff?" But they didn't get a chance to put it, gather stuff up yet. So it's one of those, don't steal. If it's in a box, if it's in something, and it's not PvP, it's not an abandoned raid base, it's not a player raid base, an admin raid base, just leave it alone.
The reason we do this, guys, we have about a 10% attrition per month of players. It means we lose about 10% of our players every month. And now you got to understand, we gain players every month too. So I'm not saying we're shrinking. I'm just saying every month, 10% of the people that log into our server don't come back. And the biggest reason we see is because somebody steals their shit. I'm not kidding. We see it at least once a week where someone, logs in. And again, it's their stupidity. They leave their TC unlocked. They leave their base twig. It's 99% of the time their stupidity. But as someone said the other day in chat, if I leave, my car door wide open, and does that mean it's okay for you to reach in there and steal my phone? No. Yeah, it's my stupidity for doing so, but it still doesn't make it right to reach in there and steal my damn phone. So that's the point, is we do the no stealing thing because, my God, guys, it's so easy to get farm on this server. And let's face it. We got farm just falling out of our asses. So there's no need to steal other people's stuff. It's just not doing anything but driving another player off the server. And we all enjoy the server when it's nice and packed and there's all kinds of stuff going on and we're running events because there's just players everywhere and we're having a good time. Like, there's no point. It just, all you're doing is driving away players. So just don't steal. That's all there is to it. And like Drax said, he's correct. If they're gray bags on the ground, they're fair game. They're wide open. Any more questions? Questions?
Which, as a side note, we are looking possibly do more events and things like that, like we were doing the demolition derby the other night, so we are looking at doing things. There is a whole big event thing that will be next map.
Oh, speaking of which, while I got so many people in here, let me tell you, I'll do the nutshell quick version here of what my big event is I got planned for the next map. You see that weird Zombieland logo island on the top of the next map. So what I did was I went in the map editor and I built this huge island. It has this giant tower in the middle of it. And at the very top of the tower is a big, bright, red, shiny button. There's traps all over the island. There's traps even on the stairwell leading up to the button. And then I went through and I placed over 574 custom loot containers all over that island. And what I mean by custom loot containers is some have meds, some have clothing, some have weapons, some have armor, some have just stuff like that. And it could be anything. It could just be bandages. It could be med kits. It could be all the way from burlap shit all the way up to heavy metal stuff. It could be a spear or a bow all the way up to an M249. The whole island is covered. 574 custom loot containers. Then on the island there are 12, I call them boxes, but there's 12 little 1x2 things. They're fully surrounded with jail cell, except for one door. And inside that room is a single box that has a single kit in it for you. Outside the room, because I don't want you putting the sleeping bag inside the room, outside the room is another box with a sleeping bag in it. There's also sleeping bags hidden in some of the loot containers all over the island. So what happens is we put 12 players in those 12 boxes that are all around the outer edge of the island. Think of it like, spokes on a wheel. The object is obviously to get to the top of the tower and hit the red button. Exactly. Hunger fucking Games. You got it. So there's an admin button that you guys can't see, but when I hit the admin button, you'll hear a bunch of sirens going off all over the island, just like on the oil rig, the big siren that goes off. And you'll see a bunch of flashing lights. You have 10 seconds until the door opens. When the door opens, everybody just try to fight your way to the top of that tower and win. When you get to the tower and hit that red button, there's actually these doors that close so no one else can get in there with you, and you're pretty much the winner. We're going to give away some prizes for this event. We're even considering real life prizes for the event. It's going to have to be something you're going to have to register for ahead of time when we do have the event. It's going to be next wipe for sure, unless Facepunch breaks my map. You'll have to register for it ahead of time, though, because the island's going to be closed off so no spectators can get in there and interfere or take the loot, stuff like that. So we'll have to grant you permissions in our plugin to let you get onto the island for the event. Admins will just teleport you into your box. So it'll be fun. You'll show up butt naked and just go fight your way to the top of the tower for Hunger Games. It should be a lot of fun. So that's the event that's going to happen next wipe. Any other questions?
And yes, it will be PvP. And yes, you will die. And yes, you will lose Z levels. You will lose RP. But winning.
No. Actually, I'm turning off the Z level loss for the event.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. We haven't really discussed it all yet. So.
No, you didn't. So, okay. So how has everybody heard?
Okay, so with that said, is there any more questions before we get on to the good? Okay, Drac, where do you want to do this? You want to just do it in town? So everybody can just warp.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody that's in this channel right now, we're probably going to crash the server, but warp to town. I'm going to give you some goodies if the server survives us warping to town. You know what? I'm going to force the server to do a manual save right now. Hold on.
Let me log on.
I feel like that's a really good.
Okay. I'm being serious too. I just made the server do a manual save, so at least if we crash it, it's just going to go back to this point right here. So that's the good news. All right, so if I can get the staff to just keep track of people, you guys form a single file line in front of me. I'm invisible. Hold on.
I would suggest doing up the stairs T a little bit.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let me go up the stairs here to the top. Just form a single file line to me. You don't have to push. You don't have to break in line. Everybody's going to get their prize.
Single file, folks. Single. Everybody's going to get it.
Yeah, I'm not going to rip anybody off.
I'm curious
Keep the tooling
to see if
minimum.
it's a save or if it's random.